Hey, this is Damian Ross, and you're listening to and watching the Killer Be Killed podcast. This week, busy week, a lot of crazy stuff. We got some hate mail. Got a guy who issues a challenge to fight me. What else is new? And a bunch of other cool stuff. So thanks for getting here. Let's get into it.
And now, the Kill or Be Killed podcast with Damian Ross, founder and master instructor of the Self-Defense Company.
Yo, George.
Hey, my man, how's it going?
Oh, freaking been crazy, dude. Oh my God. We haven't done one of these in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's been, I said we've been really busy. It says, as you know, a lot of stuff going on. So, yeah, like I said, you got that guy. Yeah, I guess he signed up to get certified. So you got him.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we've got the that live webinar. That's a go.
Yep.
For the 20th. So I'm setting up all the mechanics for that just because we're not using this platform. We're using the Zoom platform, which is no big deal. It's just that our email, yeah, if the customer's comfortable with it, it's not a problem. So speaking of customers, so the one thing that people just don't understand about, let me get this out of my face. Okay. These people don't understand about what we do or how we do things. We treat our online training just like we treat our in-person training.
That's right.
So if you come in and you take a free trial or you purchase one of the other programs and whether you don't get to it or whatever happens with your experience, and you want a refund, which you're entitled to within the terms of the conditions. It's like 30 days, whatever. If you want a refund, that's fine, but understand that we're not going to sell anything to you ever again.
That's right.
That would be the same as if you came in, signed up for a month of lessons, and then you're like, you know what? I don't like this. I want my money back. But then you came back like, a month later and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to try that other program over there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're not talking about $1 million here. We're talking about like 30, 40 bucks for stuff.
That's right.
So, you're not, if you can't swing that, you don't see value or any value in the $30 or $40 that you're spending on one of our programs or more, because they're not cheap at some point. I mean, look, for what they are, there's insane value, but if you actually use them. So,
yeah.
But if you're just not serious about it, then you're not. And if you don't find something in there that makes sense to you, that's not worth a few bucks, then you're not going to find it in the other program.
That's right.
So, even with, if you call up and you're in, like, let's say you're in the Elite Academy, which is where everybody winds up going anyway, and you want to cancel, that's fine. I don't care. Life goes on. We're good. But as soon as you start trying to get refund for money that you already paid for resources that you've already used, then we have a problem with that. Again, within the certain, it looks like this. If you take a trial with us, right? Again, this is spelt out. So you get for 5 days, right? So you have 5 days to look at it and be like, hey, okay, I see something here. Then, it's a monthly payment, depending on which program, but the Elite Academy is like $97, or you can a month, or you can buy it out at a discount, right? So that's it. You can cancel it anytime, even after that first payment. If you want a refund, that's fine. You have 30 days after that. So, again, if you don't see value in what you've done or don't do it, that's fine. If you want a refund, you're going to be, that's it. But we're not going to sell anything to you ever again.
Yep.
No hard feelings. We're done. That's it. The other thing we have a problem with, and we have safeguards on the site, but some people, there's so many moving parts that some people find their way around, taking multiple trials, which is a no-no. You're allowed one trial. Because again, if you don't, if you're serious about it, you come in, you look at it, you're like, okay, I see this here. I'm gonna work with this program. I'm gonna work with these guys, because it's not just. I mean, the videos are just a part of it. We've got live events and a whole bunch of other stuff going on. So there's support. There's it's a training academy. So
and Damien, just let me jump in for a minute, because I'm glad you said something. You said it's spelled out, and I just want to say this now and just get it off my chest, throw it out there. Like, look, if you want to cancel, that's fine. But don't fucking email saying that you've been scammed, or use the scam word, because you've chosen to take this trial. You've chosen to engage, yet you claim that you had no idea. That is the most irritating thing that I find from people. Read what's in front of you. It's there for a reason, right? I just had to throw that out.
Yeah, it's not fine print. It's right on the button.
Yeah.
It's all over the button.
Yes.
So, it's like, this is what's going to happen, right? So, and then what most people do is they do it, I would say most people, I say most of those people.
Yeah.
Some of them have, are just clicking crap.
That's right.
They don't know what they're doing. They're just clicking it. And again, we've got, one button that's green and one button that's red. So, actually now the button is yellow and the no button is red. If you want this thing, we offer this. It's, to especially your new customers, people that are coming into some of the intro programs. And, if you just want the intro program, that's great. But if you want more, which is where most people do, the people who are serious about this do the Elite Academy.
Yeah.
So, that's fine. But again, I realize we're not for everybody, and that's it. So, my perfect customer, or perfect member, I should say. I really don't like even calling them customers, because they're members and they're training partners. My perfect training partner, the person who's into it, is somebody who uses the resources, asks a lot of questions, interacts with us, challenges us on certain things, because we don't do what martial arts do. It's like they've been taught, specific defenses to specific attacks. They've been taught to wait for the person to make an attack. They've been taught to, a lot of them it's all about sparring.
Yeah.
And, they've been taught to, they've also been told that they need, decades upon decades of training. And this is from people whose businesses depend on their training longer and more often.
That's right.
I mean, if you train with us for a year, you could be an instructor.
Yep.
That's it. Why? Because we're not sparring. We're not, I don't want to seem like, we're coming off like, oh, some badass, look, dude, I met a lot of tough people, in judo and wrestling and karate. I've also met a lot of paper tigers too. I met more paper tigers than tough people. And a lot of the tough people were kind of tough before they already got there. There's just people who are, they've got a proclivity to, for physicality. It's like somebody who's got a natural ability for stuff. So, yeah, that, is. So anyway, we're not doing forms. We're not doing, you're not have to memorize a shit ton of like random, little individual moves for different attacks. So, so somebody, once they understand the principles and they demonstrate it and they develop the core skills, and they can communicate it, they can, teach it. And now when we say we have our instructor program, which you run, it's not, okay, thank you for your money. How you doing? Keep it moving. It's, you got to get certified. So there's a process and a coaching process beyond all this, where we make sure we have eyes on you to make sure that you are doing it and you can communicate the skills that you're teaching and the concepts that we, that make the self-defense training system what it is.
Absolutely.
So the videos are just part of it, and it's a way for you to get to know us. And again, we got people that are just, well, I didn't mean this, I didn't mean that. A lot of them are coming back, 30 and 60 days later, and we're like, sorry. We've had instances where, kids have logged on and used their parents' accounts to access the stuff. Again, why, if their kid isn't interested in this stuff, why aren't you, I think that's an opportunity for you to work with your kid. Absolutely. And be like, okay, let's do this together, and be a parent rather than be like, it's not like they're buying a video game.
Yep.
The kid is trying to, learn something. They looked up self-defense. They saw something they liked.
Yep.
Right. And these aren't, a toddler's not going to be doing this.
No, and you know what? They looked up self-defense for a fucking reason. There's a reason why they looked it up. So, acknowledge that.
Right. But, no, that's like, I'm too worried about the $30 I've just spent.
That's right.
Anyway, so speaking of, martial arts and our good old hate mail. I want to pull up this guy's email. I'm looking up my hate mail now. Okay. Oh, where is it? Oh, shit. Do you have that email?
I'm assuming it's our BJJ buddy.
Yeah. Can you forward that to me? For some reason, I had an Mac. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I think I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, it's our BJJ guy. Yeah, could you just forward that to me so then I can share on my screen, please?
I'll have to.
I updated my Mac operating system, and there's stuff be missing, and one is my hate mail, which
it might take me a little bit to find this. So
right. So
if you want to walk them through in the meantime while I look for it.
Yeah. So basically, it looks like this. If hold on, let me just say, I just want to say KBI. Is there anything on here? If Keith updated it, I don't think he has. Bear with us, people. Sorry.
It's worth the wait.
Yeah. Okay, nothing. So basically, it looks like this. If you're gonna, I guess I get challenged on a regular basis by people who saying that I'm fake. I don't look like I've taken a punch. I don't, like whatever. So that's fine. I've got a really simple rule. I'm like, I live at 59 East Allendale Road in Saddle River, New Jersey. And if you have a problem with me or anything that I do, you're more than welcome to come to my house. But be advised, if you're coming to my home, you are a threat to me and my family. And I will act within the law to protect my family. And now that seems a bit, maybe that seems a little bit outlandish to people, but the reality is I don't know who these people are. And if you're coming to my home, I can only assume the worst. I think the problem is that these people look at this like some type of sparring exercise, which is something we really don't do. And I know, we're running the risk of sounding like, some wackadoo that's like, all we do is practice lethal techniques and things like that. We practice tactical self-defense. So what that means is that, at its primary, we break the predator-prey relationship, meaning that when you're targeted by an attacker, they're not challenging you to a fight. They're looking for an easy mark, right? They're looking to get what they want from you without being caught, identified, or injured. So whatever you can do to break that cycle, meaning that whatever you can do to make it look like you're not going to make it easy for them, that's all you need to do. And a lot of times it's just the mere fact of how you present yourself when we go through, our awareness and escape and evasion. And then it's how did you find it?
No, I can't find it, but I mean,
Shit.
I'm so glad to walk through this with everybody.
So yeah, no, because I like to give the guy credit where credit is due. Let me just take a search. All the boxes. Let me just say trash. All the boxes. See if I flagged it. Yeah, they're not. It's not coming up. Anyway. Oh well. So, God, I wish I could find this guy's. I wish we had this guy's email. Again, I don't know where the hell it went. So anyway. So you want to challenge me, as an adult. I mean, the thing is, the problem is you're thinking of this in the context of what you do, which is a sport. And you're thinking that I'm going to come in there and try to grapple you. Again, I don't know what level of expertise this person is. I can only guess because of his email that he felt compelled to threaten me, that he's probably not crazy secure in what he does. I got to be honest with you. There's I would say 99.9% of the people out there are not good martial artists. They speak the same crap all over again. That's not true, not based on reality. And I could give a shit about what they're saying. I don't go.
We got it. It's coming across to you.
Okay, awesome. I don't waste my time doing this because I know what I do, and I'm too concerned about the people that I'm training and what I'm doing. The other thing is, if your business is going so great, and I know this time he's probably taking it on the chin, being a martial arts, if he has a martial arts studio or is an instructor, that he's probably getting crushed. And I feel bad for him and these guys that are doing it. So I know he's very, very frustrated. Again, I don't know him personally. I'm just, the mere fact that he wrote something and put it out there. So anyway, so just on the context that you think it's going to be some type of challenge match, I was told years ago by my mentor, Carl Sestari, he goes, if you hang a shingle, meaning if you open a studio up, and I've had a couple, and now I'm, we just do this thing over the world. So again, like we said before, I view this thing as my studio. That if somebody comes in and drops a challenge, you better be ready to fucking defend it.
That's right.
And you either stay open that day or you close. So this is the mentality that I was brought up with. Now, when you're saying these things to me, you're basing it on your experience. I think you are trying to seriously injure or worse me and my family. Period. There's no other way to look at it. I'm not going to sit there and match my style up. So, because it's really technically what we do is really not a style. I guess it could be, but reality is it's really more of a system response.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So, all right, here we go. Steve, here he is. Let me share my screen. Share screen. All right, man. I apologize. This thing is like mail. Okay, share. Okay. Push the capture for following steps. All right. Sorry. It's okay. Hold on, people.
Gotta love technology.
There's so many like new privacy things going on now.
Yep.
Security and privacy, general view. Okay, on your Mac, Apple logo on the left. All right, so we gotta. Yes. Okay. Security and okay. Allow the screen mask. Google. Okay. Oh. So, yeah, this is like. All right. Okay. All right. So it's telling me I can share. I think. Share screen. Window. Entire screen. All right. Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. Ah. Okay. Allow. Okay. Screen recording. Okay. Sorry, I was in the wrong spot. System preferences. All right. Privacy and security. Yeah, I love doing this live. Nothing but fun. I'm like, holy crap. System preferences. Where's okay. Where is it? Screen recording. Plus. Oh. All right, this is killing me. It's killing me, Smalls. Privacy, screen recording, camera. Yeah. Whatever. I'm just going to read it. Sorry about that. So, dear Damien, I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and frankly, I believe your statement that in 60 minutes you'll be able to be a devastating fighter is irresponsible and dangerous. I don't say that. I say we use lethal, and there's a difference. I spent years training and teaching self-defense techniques and watching your videos. I cannot honestly say I believe these techniques demonstrated by you are not effective in a real-life scenario. I will challenge you to bring one of your students to our school and test your techniques against one of our students. I truly believe that there is a value found in all martial arts, and I'm sure the same can be said for your system. To dismiss all martial arts as ineffective is an arrogant statement. So again, send me one of your students to demonstrate your techniques against one of our students so we may settle the debate. Thank you. Steven. I guess his last name's DeCasas. I'll post this shit in there. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, Steve, first off, I say lethal. And there's a difference. We don't fight. So what do we mean by lethal? Well, first, I'm like, let's put it this way. If I taught you how to use a firearm or an edged weapon, could you kill somebody? Right. Okay. Now, if I taught you how to attack and strike a person multiple times in a particular area, could you be lethal? Yeah, you could. 60 minutes or less. I mean, I could probably teach you to be lethal in about 10 minutes.
Yep.
So, that being said, yeah, again, Steve's thinking about his you know, his perspective on fighting, which is we don't fight. We don't fight. We protect ourselves. We protect others. We defend ourselves.
We end threats.
Period. Yeah. Whether that threat disengages or not. Now, granted, the more we go down the road, the more you want to impose your will over other people, the more training it takes.
Yeah.
But shouldn't take more than, several weeks, to be honest with you, if you're an average person. Steve's there. And let me tell you something, Steve. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Because you step up. Why would you put one of your students at risk? Wussy. Oh, and by the way, when you drop a challenge, we don't come to you. You come to me.
Yeah.
If I have a problem with you, trust me, I'm going to find you. I'm going to you. I'm not saying, hey, Steve, you're an asshole. Come over to my place.
Yep.
No, this is not how a challenge works, young man. A challenge works by you come to me. So as I said, 59 East Allendale Road. You come, not one of your students. Because the real test, I understand what you're doing here. Well, let's take a student. The real thing would be like, okay, let's take two people, let's take identical twins, right? Or whatever. And then, okay, give me 60 minutes with him and you take 60 minutes with him.
Yeah.
And then who has more self-defense knowledge and who'd be able to defend themselves more?
Yeah.
Our guy or your guy? I mean, that's really what you're talking about. Because the nonsense in that is like, if you have somebody, if I bring you a pro football player and you bring me some average guy, my guy's going to win. And it's going to have nothing to do with anything that I taught him. So, I understand what he's trying to say here, where it's, I want to, okay, well, if your system is so good, it is. And you know what? It's been proven time and time again. And it's not just me. I like I said, I didn't think this shit up. But
let me just jump in for a second. For anybody who wants to sit here and challenge and think that it's going to be a consensual engagement where we're going to roll around on the fucking ground with you, no. While you're trying to roll around and search for a submission, I'm beating you over the head with a fucking rock. So understand that we are not what you do, but our doors are always fucking open if you want to know what it is we do.
Yeah, I guess he hasn't really watched my videos. In fact, he hasn't watched anything. Maybe he's like rolled around on some shit on YouTube.
Yep.
And looked at some specific techniques, but these are just demonstrations of, an edge of hand. It's like, I can't look at someone's, I can look at a defense and I can tell, I can evaluate it. But if you're looking at a technique and then you got to look at it over the course of a system, by listening to what they're saying, by the time we get to empty hand techniques, a lot of shit has gone wrong in our world.
Oh, absolutely.
So to think that we're going to sit there and be like, go mano a mano, I'm like, that's not what it's about. We are about taking the tactical advantage by whatever means necessary at the time. As I said, if it means picking up a rock, it means picking up a rock.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not going to pull, we're not going to pull guard. We're not going to do any other shit. I'm like, look, do we ground fight? Sure. But we ain't doing what you're doing.
That's right.
And I appreciate, people, doing martial arts. But again, you're all full of shit because I spent decades in the martial arts. He obviously hasn't seen my bio. I studied Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I wrestled in college. I got black belts in judo and jiu-jitsu. I'm like, dude, I've done it. There's value for what it is there. But for self-defense, man, there is so much nonsense. I bet you this dude does wrist releases and wrist grab defenses. Dollars to donuts. I haven't looked him up. I could give a shit. I don't care if he's, Bruce Lee Almighty and, Mike Tyson rolled into one. Dude, my address, 59 East Allendale Road. You come. Not your student. You come. If you got beef with me, If you want to stand up for all the martial arts in the world, get your ass over here.
Yep.
Dude, you dropped the challenge. You didn't even put your address in. How the hell am I going to do that? Where am I going to go? I got to Google. I got to look. I got to get in a car. Fuck you. You come to me. I'm home most days.
Yep.
If I'm not working out or at the beach,
and I'm in lockdown, so fucking, you know where to find me.
Right. I mean, my address is there. We run the business out of the house. Yep. So no big deal. And it goes for anybody, not just Steve. You got a problem with me, you go.
And just to clarify, for fuck's sakes, we don't have a problem with martial arts. Martial arts serve a fucking wonderful purpose. They're great. But they do not serve a fucking purpose in the street. Techniques that you can learn in martial arts 100% are relevant, but that's where it fucking stops, right? That's where it stops. And if you're going to sit here and run your fucking mouth, at least know what it is that we do before you fucking flap your gums, because you're going to realize really fucking quick that we are not traditional martial artists.
Yeah, look, and I know we get lumped in with some of the reality self-defense guys. When I say, dude, I'm like, I'm 53 years old. I'm in fucking great shape. I work out, I train.
Yep.
All right. So you know what? You don't think I have any background in any of this shit? I'm like, you obviously didn't look at my bio, right? I mean, you watched my videos. I don't know what you were looking at because you're not a member. You haven't purchased anything from us, so I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you what the hell you did. But to casually sacrifice one of your students is kind of a dick move, and you're a pussy.
100%.
I blame you. I would not do that to someone who trains with me, and I would not ask them to put themselves in harm's way for my words.
Yeah.
Stand up to your words, Steve. Come to me. I'm ready to go anytime, whatever. I'll be walking out my yard pulling dandelions. No problem.
Yep.
I think, the fact that you serving up one of your students and didn't even post your fucking address.
Yeah.
How the hell am I going to find you, Steve? You didn't even put your last name down there. Only had to assume it from your email.
Well, he's such an expert. I guess we should just fucking know, right?
Right. Dude, listen, man. I know, we like, martial arts. They have a place. I love, competition. Dude, MMA, I'm a fan. Again, but you're sitting there looking at like super athletes, and then you're telling, Joe Schmo that this is what you want to do. That's like me telling, Joe Schmo, hey, you can be a professional basketball player. You can be, a professional football player. I'm like, dude, what those guys do is not what you do, and you're not going to do that anyway. And even those guys will tell you, your street fight is fucking street fight. When someone's trying to kill you, or you don't know what's going on, I mean, the adrenaline, the everything, you see stuff goes to hell. So it's a different context for what it is.
And I get fucking asked about this and the similarities with martial arts, and how are we different and everything. Look, let's make it really simple. Combat sports, martial arts, it's all a consensual engagement. We touch gloves. We agree to do what we're going to do. Self-protection, self-defense, self-offense, whatever the fuck you want to call it, combatives, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, this is a non-consensual exchange. I don't want to fucking fight you. I just want to get home to my family. But if you corner me, if you force me to fight, I'm going to end your fucking bloodline. Not even think about it. That's where we're different. Understand that.
Yes. I can't, the solutions that you're offering people, are not immediate and or effective.
Yeah.
So, when you sit there and I tell, like, if I was going to train someone why would I train somebody in judo or wrestling? And even when you're adapting those techniques to self-defense, it requires a certain level of proficiency in the base art. That's like when you see wrestling for self-defense, MMA for self-defense, boxing for self-defense, BJJ for self-defense. It requires that you have it, whether it's good or bad. We can't even get into that yet, but it requires a certain expertise in the base martial art before you can
Yes.
continue to do what you're doing. That, depending on who you are, that could be months or years. And there's no doubt, Steve will say, hey, it takes years to get good at my art. Well, I don't know if you suck or what, but it shouldn't, I mean, I was able to teach, I'm able to coach kids in wrestling to be somewhat proficient in 3 months. Like, not saying that they're going to win an NCAA championship. Not at all. Right. I mean, look, when you start getting into these levels, there's natural ability. There's, there's fitness. There's so many other things that go into making an elite athlete. Okay. But like a base skill set, you can teach somebody to hit relatively quickly. For us, in a week. If you're training in our system and you're hitting something, we're not hitting air, we're hitting targets, we're training dummies, we're doing these things, and we're hitting at 100%. Once you start understanding, dude, you even realize that, over almost 90% of assaults on women are stopped as soon as they resist.
Yep.
And these are people with like zero training, right? They're just people that say no. So, right there, it's like, you need to show people that immediately. Now, again, he used the term fighter, and I'm not talking about making people great fighters, because this is his mindset. He's thinking about what he does, which is make fighters.
And, I'll tell you, if I get a student who approaches me and says, I want to learn how to be a fighter, get the fuck out of here. I've got no interest in being a fighter. There's other places to do that. We do not fight.
Right. Again, what you're taking it is out of context. And I know the problem is we get lumped in with a lot of people who are doing some pretty wacky, stupid shit.
Yep.
And who don't value fitness, who don't value attitude, who don't value hard training. Now, granted, there's levels to this. And when we start with 60-minute self-defense, the video 60 minutes long.
That's right.
The training is about a month.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to show you something right away. Awareness, the awareness course, you can do that now and all of a sudden be be much less of a target than, going to a year of martial arts.
Yep.
Because I know you teach in martial arts. You teach stances, you teach position, you teach guard, you teach etiquette. You teach sparring techniques, you teach submissions, you teach all this other shit. You teach fighting. And when you teach self-defense, you line people up and you do specific defenses. You don't talk about tactical driving. You don't talk about, how you're presenting yourself to the outside world. You don't talk about how you're going to crowd negotiation. You don't talk about, threat de-escalation. You don't talk about verbal commands. You don't talk about any of that stuff. Maybe some
avoidance, the right mindset, 100%.
Right. There's some guys that will touch on it, not going to lie, but for the most part, it's not part of the curriculum and you're not getting tested on.
That's right.
So we give you actionable skills that you can use now and deter attacks now.
I think it was funny because I was talking to another one of our instructors the other day, and he was saying, I just want to be able to explain really simply to people what it is that we do. And I said, you know what? We don't train people to get into a fucking ring. We don't train people to fight. We train people so that, when you're leaving work and you notice that strange looking motherfucker over by, a car looking at you, you realize how to deal with it before it becomes a fucking problem. That's what we train you for. And if it does become a problem, we give you a triggered response and a way to deal with it should shit go sideways so that you can get home. That's it. That's what we do. And he got it. He got it right away. So.
Yeah. Again, tactical responses to real violence.
Yep.
So, right. I mean, your people are looking at this. And again, this is the problem that I have with martial arts is that they've got it. It's a martial arts world. And if everything you have is a hammer, if the only thing you have is a hammer, then everything looks like a nail.
Right.
And to sit there and watch, I've seen black belt after black belt after black belt expert talk about things like, controlling the weapon. Make sure no bystanders are hurt. But I mean, this whole fucking, arrogance about what you're gonna be able to do when you're seriously threatened, and having been in those situations where somebody is, he's got buddies, or he's armed, or you're like, it's fucking scary.
Yep.
And you don't think about all that shit other than surviving.
Yep, because you
And
can.
then that visceral, doing my worst to get out of here and just stop the attack. And this is where, this is the reality in which we, play. I'm like, I can't stress this enough. And for most people, look, they just want to know exactly what they need to do and get on with their lives.
And just a quick plug for our instructor program.
Yes,
I'll mention it. All of these others on fucking YouTube, or these martial arts individuals who are trying to teach self-defense, understand that most of them haven't even had a fucking fight with their wives, let alone face real world violence, and they're going to try and fucking teach you how to deal with real world violence. Know that when you come to us, our instructors, we understand real world violence, because if our direct instructor doesn't, the person who taught him certainly fucking does. So we will be covering real shit, not giving you this false fucking perception of, what you're going to face when it's not even remotely close.
So, dude on TikTok talking about actually the chin jab, hitting with the heel of hand, and saying how you shouldn't use this because it may break your wrist.
Wow.
Now, the guy wasn't a big guy. I don't know what, how, I mean, the two strongest bones in your arm packed up by you could hit a bowling ball with this fucking thing.
Yeah.
So, but these the places, like, the world is filthy with these dudes and women, that are doing this stuff. And I'm like, I can't. I don't know, man. So look, Steve and the other Steves out there, I'm like, you got a problem with me, you got a problem with me. Step to me.
Yep.
Whatever happens, happens. I'll react accordingly. I'm a gentleman until I'm not gonna be. And if you come to me, understand that I assume, because of where, what you're doing, that you mean me harm, you mean my family harm, and I will react accordingly within the law, period. I'm not coming to you and bringing a student to fight for me. I fight for me.
Yep.
So I don't know what kind of man I know what kind of man you are, but you got a problem with me, you take it up with me. Now you feel like pushing a student out there, whatever you got to do. But you're an asshole. And you're a punk. Bitch. Steve.
And speaking of bitches, we have another guy who decided to give us some hate mail for a while, who believes that Damien has passed away. So I am apparently...
yes, please.
I am apparently the new Damien. So here I am. Fuck you.
What's the dude is that? What's his name? Victor Cushing.
Yes. He trained with you years ago and has great respect. And now he just thinks that I'm pretending to be you and run a company pretending to be you. So,
well, this is good because, right, I forgot about this dude. So the story goes like this. He took a $1 trial and then immediately wants to cancel.
Yep.
So as soon as you tell us you want to cancel, which reminds me, anytime somebody says they want to cancel, we cancel you, period. Done. We don't wait. So we cancel him. And now he goes and logs in and he's like, wait a second. Why'd you cancel me? I thought I had 5 days. I'm like, dude, the trial is for people who are considering it. If you're not even considering it, what are you doing here?
Which he also made clear in his series of emails that he wasn't considering it, but go on.
Right. So Victor proceeds to say that he trained with me. He heard I passed away. He probably got me confused with Carl, to be honest. Heard I passed away. And now is pissed off about he spent $1 because he wanted to see my life's work.
Yep.
And he won't even spend $1, let alone the 97 for the, for the subscription. Cancel at any time. Or the $2.90 or the one pay all, fucking get it all and never pay anything again. That's not worth it to him. But I trained with him. I'm thinking he probably trained with Carl, to be honest with you. I'm thinking because I've trained probably about 700 people that came through the Pompton Lakes and the Oakland dojos. So I don't know, I can't say particularly if it was him. But he sounds like he trained with Carl. So he got us confused. So so much that he doesn't know who the fuck he's talking to.
Yeah.
So maybe thought he was signing up for, I don't know. So, but he used my name. So now the guy starts to threaten how he's going to sue us. That's what I wanted to get from you. I need his. Okay. Yeah. I'm sending him $1 in the mail.
Oh no, it should probably be $2 because then he fucking signed up under his wife's name to try it.
Yes. So I'm sending them $2 in the mail, separate envelopes.
Yep.
So just because he threatened to sue us and get the state attorney involved or whatever these people that threaten to sue are fucking hysterical.
Yeah, we love them.
Look, very simple. The trial is there like you're coming in for your free lesson at the dojo, right? You come in and you say, okay, I'm going to give this a lesson. If I like it, I'm going to sign up for the next month. Then if you like it more, you can, buy it out or continue to pay as you go. It's no big deal. It's completely up to you. So that's like coming in and getting your, taking class and before you take class, you're like, I have no intention of joining here. I just want to come in for the one day.
Yep.
At that point, as an instructor, I'm going to tell you, fucking leave.
Yep.
I'm not going to waste my time with you and you're not going to get access to shit. And that's exactly what happened. So as soon as Victor said he wanted to cancel, he canceled. We canceled him. And that's it. We don't mess around. I'm not keeping you on. I'm not monitoring you and waiting short, setting a reminder up for 5 days that I've got to go. No, fuck you. You're canceled. If you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. Yep. You're not going to get access to shit. I said, I only want people who are serious about protecting themselves, protecting their families, period. So other than that, that's it. You want to sue somebody, go right ahead. But the fact is, it was like we blocked it. We blacklisted him. We block his IP. We take him off the mailing address. We actually put more work into him than he put into us. And then, 10 minutes later, we get a different name, a different email, same address. Yeah. Bro, really?
And then he complained when we canceled that.
Yeah, right. So, I'm like, there's no, yeah, dude. Yes. Yeah. So, me being dead or Carl being dead, I'm like, if you give a shit, if this is something you value, then why aren't you doing it?
Yep.
But you obviously don't because you obviously can't keep straight who's who and what's what. But, so if you come in with the intention of training, dude, we will bend over backwards for you. And you know what? If you cancel and you're not, you're not getting, what you want out of it, or, your financial situation has changed, or, the other thing is if you're injured, you got to figure out how to fucking train still.
Yeah.
Because now it's more important that you know how to defend yourself. Maybe you focus more on the weapons modules, which should be anyway. But then, see what you can do. See what your limitations are. And then once you go through that, your adrenaline will help you go through the pain. So, but yeah, I mean, you've got to adapt. I mean, self-defense is a constant thing. And this is the problem that what happens, Steve, when somebody's hurt?
Yep.
They come to class? No, stay home and ice it. Okay, great. Well, while you got a sling on your arm, you get approached. Now what do you do?
Yep.
All right. So what you teach is a sport, not self-defense. If someone is missing class, and listen, we got a simple rule. If you can leave your house, you better be ready to protect yourself.
Yep. And
as you get older, as you're injured, as you're, different things change. You become an attractive target. Okay. But, it's a constant adjustment. And you're not training for a prize fight. It's a lifestyle. It's just it's a life skill, not a lifestyle.
That's right.
So it's just like changing your oil in your car, if people still do that anymore, just basic fucking house maintenance. It's just something you understand about position and distance. You understand about risk reward. You understand about exploiting the 3 things a criminal fears. You understand if you can cut a steak, you can use a knife.
Yep.
Okay. As simple as that. If you can swing a bat or kick a ball, you can do this.
Yep.
Now, I can't say the same for BJ. I can't say that's the same for BJJ or a lot of other combat sports, which again, great endeavors, but you do you, we'll do us.
Yeah.
Type shit. So I guess, Steve. Asshole. So on that note, all right, dude. Anything else?
No, I think we covered all the hate mail from the last week and a half. So
right. So
hopefully we're going to continue to get more.
We got some more fight videos for next time and some other shit. Okay, until next time, everyone, train honestly.